So, I wanted to come on and say these words because it was on my heart. Um, so much is going on right now, and my heart is doing all kinds of things. I'm proud, I'm angry, I'm sad, and as I look out and I think about what it is that God put me here to do, um, with my youth. For those that don't know, I've worked at Hairston Middle School in Greensboro for 13 years. I've been teaching in Atlanta for 2 years, and low poverty, urban schools. And it's amazing how our children are not educated in a lot of the history that we know as adults, and a lot of it is not taught in schools. We teach them the Underground Railroad and Harriet Tubman, and we don't share with them the kings and the queens of Africa and where we began and how how slavery started, why it started. We always skip to the stuff, the under, and it's like, where did that come from? How did it start? And I think it's important that even in white households, we have to educate our children. All races need to be educated on other races. The discriminatory things going on against blacks right now is is so powerful to see everybody fighting for us. It's, you see, every a lot of different cultures fighting for us. And at the end of the day, I need to see us, the way that we are fighting right now. We have to continue that. Don't let this, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, that this is the beginning. So I'm seeing small changes slowly. I'm seeing, I just posted about LA. They are taking $150 million away from the police department and putting it into black communities and black programs. So changes are happening, but I need y'all to understand that you have to be educated in cultural backgrounds of all races before you even decide, what your belief is. You can't believe anything about a particular race until you have actually put yourself in their shoes, or you have visited, or you have attended, an event, where the majority is of a different culture. You got to educate yourself. And I see a lot of of racists, who are people that are on my page that I didn't know were racist. And it's like, they have to delete me, or I have to delete them because they're not educated. And it's very sad that we have to deal with all of these things. And I remember, um I'm just talking about a time where I was in high school, and this is when I moved down south. Um, I was in New York growing up. Then as a teenager, I moved to North Carolina, and my history teacher actually skipped over. We went through about 30 chapters. There was a chapter on slavery, and we went over that chapter. We skipped over it. And when I when I argued with the teacher about skipping over it, I got in trouble. I was sent to ISS for speaking up on it. My classmates really didn't understand, but I grew up in a household where my dad taught me my history. My dad had me reading, the autobiography of Malcolm X, who was Martin Luther King. Like, he had me reading about, I was reading Cornel West when I was 10 years old. So, the Souls of Black Folks by W.E.B. Du Bois, like, you have to understand that it is so necessary to educate our children, because our next generation have to keep this legacy alive. What's happening right now, they have to keep it alive. We are grown, we understand what's going on. A lot of them right now don't even know what's going on, and it's so important that you allow them to learn different cultures. And it's not about going to a black neighborhood and you see drugs and you see low poverty. You got to think about why, the oppression, and the white privilege that has happened over the years to why you might see a neighborhood impoverished, why you might see someone on drugs and the mental things they're dealing with because they lost their job because of discrimination at a great job, or seeing a black woman who has a master's degree not be able to get a job because of discrimination. um and a lot of times we just, a lot of people don't understand, they don't get it, that there are, every culture has poor and rich, every culture has ghettos, every culture has drugs, every culture has people who are cold-hearted, people who are kind-hearted. So we have to teach that, because the media and television, what our kids are so glued to, social media, the media, television, radio, that's what people will be accustomed to. That's what our kids are accustomed to. Take them away from that and give them a book. Give them a history lesson. Let them do some real research versus always being glued to the television. I'm sharing this video because I just feel like this needed to be said. Don't stop today. Let this go on. Let this protest continue through my artists. I need y'all to get out in the world and share messages, real history, share messages. Make sure you're sowing into the youth. Don't let up on what's happening right now, because if you let up, we're going to see the same things continue to happen because we let up. We get hype. Don't get hype and then let up after they those police go to jail and they're locked up. You got to keep this going. We got to rebuild Black Wall Street. We got to rebuild black businesses. I'm loving what I'm seeing right now, the support of black businesses. Keep that same energy, period. Don't let up. That's my message for today. Sorry for the long video. No, I'm not sorry. But please take heed, listen, share this if you want to. We got to keep the same energy. I love y'all. Bloom and give it life.